And that's why he's the point leader. Nobody else has 4 top 10 finishes this year. 225 laps complete with Kevin Harvick leading Alex Bowman. You won't miss a minute as Fox takes you side by side at Darlington.
When you need a vehicle you can count on, trust Toyota to be here for you.
Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape and may even offer no-contact vehicle drop-off. If you need a new vehicle, Toyota is offering 0% financing and attractive leases on our most popular Toyotas, like Camry, RAV4, and Tacoma. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home.
It's our promise to you, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Hey. You fell asleep with your sign again.
Fell asleep with your sign again. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Switch to Progressive and you can save hundreds. You know, like the sign says.
Action. The Superstars. All new. Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox.
Wednesday night on FS1. The Toyota 500 is live.
It's showtime.
In prime time. The Toyota 500 live Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern on FS1.
66 laps to go at Darlington, where our aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, recognizing those who are starting to help us all move forward again. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Left of your screen in blue, Kevin Harvick. Black, Alex Bowman trying to chase him down from 9/10 of a second back. Brad Keselowski third in the white Ford. Chase Elliott up for fourth, and Martin Truex Jr. holding down the top 5. Ninth place, looking back from Denny Hamlin and rookie Tyler Reddick.
Well, a great drive by Tyler Reddick. Remember, he had that issue where the debris came off the nose of Denny Hamlin's car, fell back onto his car, and he said on the radio it was almost undrivable how much it changed the aerodynamics and the grip of that car. They had to pull that debris off, fell back on a pit stop. He has worked his way back up into the top 10. And how about Matt Kenseth right there behind him in 11th place? Putting a solid run in here.
Jeff, he's doing exactly what we thought he would do. It took him a little while to get back acclimated, and there he is, just headed toward the top 10.
Woo! Nice slide. We go in to the onboard camera there. Back in, definitely jumped out on Matt Kenseth as he put that right rear out there and slid it through the corner. Oh yeah, he's loose. That 42 car right now is loose.
And on the lower left, you can see him play the throttle. That green trace wide open right now. Off the throttle into the corner completely. And then he'll pedal it a bit before he gets back to full throttle coming off.
Look at him working those hands all the way out to the wall.
Kenseth hard at work.
So, Mike, let's go ahead and kind of set up some possible strategy. Remember, we talked about it kind of near the end of stage 1. We went back racing at lap 218 with 75 to go. That's almost outside the fuel window. Plus, you'd be so far off on tires. I think where, if they stay green, where the chess match will come is, remember I talked about how much fresh tires are valuable over old tires? I think you split that run in half and you pit somewhere around lap 245 to 250 and get full advantage of those fresh tires.
Well, it won't be that long for Martin Truex. He's called in that he has a loose wheel on the number 19. They're ready for it.
I mean, one of the toughest pit roads to try to get to under green, Mike, is this one right here in Darlington. You have all that apron to work with to turn off. You can't see the entry to pit road, and it's extremely slick because of all the debris and sand down on that apron.
Regan.
Well, guys, he actually called out on the back straightaway that it was getting better. He doesn't know what's going on, so crew chief James Small immediately said, stay out, don't pit yet if it's getting better. They gave it another lap, and we see him stay out on the racetrack yet again, so possibly that loose wheel's getting better. They don't know, Martin doesn't know, we don't know.
Wow, what's the risk to reward ratio on this?
I've never heard a loose wheel get better, so it's either not a loose wheel or it's about to get really, really bad.
I tried to sell some drivers it was going to get better, but it just wasn't.
So Truex stays out and stays in 6th place. He's about 1.1 seconds ahead of Clint Boyer. Sunday afternoon need for speed, and I want to make my ears bleed. It's time to crank it up again.
Oh yes, please.
About 37's and stay on the top. Clear, clear.
To complete, 54 to go. Harvick the leader. Holding second. Chase Elliott now up for third over Kurt Busch, and Brad Keselowski has faded to the 5th spot. And back to Truex. If you pick up some loose rubber, some bits of rubber on the track, the tire wheel go out of balance. Will that feel like a loose wheel, perhaps?
Absolutely, Mike. You know, you could definitely pick up some debris. I've had that happen before where I thought it was a loose wheel and it was just chunks of rubber. And there's a lot of chunks of rubber being torn off these race tires here this weekend in Darlington. So it could have very possibly been just that, because when it's a loose wheel, you feel it in the wheel, you feel it in the brake pedal, and it does not go away. It continues to get worse.
Side by side for 11.
When we were riding on board and cranked it up there, you could hear the throttle response from Kyle Busch and watch that battle that he was having with Matt Kenseth, running two completely different lines. Matt Kenseth was all 4 tires down the apron through turns 1 and 2. Kyle Busch working that high line, and eventually it looked to me like Kyle Busch's car just had a little bit more speed. Now Austin Dillon going after Matt Kenseth.
Think about Kyle Busch. Less than 100 laps ago, they were on pit road repairing the right side. He restarted back in 25th. What's the song say? You can't keep a good man down. He just keeps fighting back.
He is a fighter. And I know this is not the kind of day he was hoping for, I think, you know, he was hoping to start up front and battle and lead this race, but instead it's been one of those grinds where he's just had to fight for everything he's got.
Kyle Busch trying to race his way into the top 10 as Kevin Harvick leads Alex Bowman by 2.6 seconds. We'll take you, Fox, side by side.
We design and engineer in America and assemble more vehicles here than anyone else. It's why, at a moment's notice, we can take American ingenuity and our manufacturing capability and put it to work. Building respirators, ventilators, and face shields. Building what we've been building for over a century. An unbreakable connection between the Ford Motor Company and America.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
The Flame, the Flow, Banshee. These ultimate taggers are after you.
We have a group of lunatics here that are extremely willing to sacrifice your body.
They're intense, strong, and a little crazy.
You feel that right now?
Fox Wednesday.
This is one of the only times I wish I had a step stool.
Don't get caught.
Welcome to the fastest, craziest, most intense game you've ever seen.
Ultimate Tag premieres Wednesday after the Masked Singer season finale on Fox.
9. It's not just a number, it's a bloodline. Having your name on a car means something. To me, it means people are counting on you to get it done. So you've got to hate losing as much as you love to win. When it's your name on that car, you've got to dig deep.
.46 laps to go in the Real Heroes 400 on Fox, presented by Geico, and Kevin Harvick has 2.6 seconds on Alex Bowman. Good battle here as Mark Truex and Brad Keselowski discuss 5th place behind Harvick, Bowman, Kurt Busch, and Chase Elliott.
And we've seen where Brad Keselowski, when he has clean air and he gets out front, he can hold on and maintain that lead. But when he loses that track position, it seems like his car maybe gets really tight in traffic and he starts to fade like he is right now.
And we talked at the top of the show about the Fool window, also known as the fuel window. But Larry, you want to go 44 more laps on this set of tires?
And honestly, I think that's stretching the fuel and stretching the tires, Mike. And that's go back to what I said a while ago. And we're getting close to that point where you split this run in half, and you would pit with somewhere around 35 to 40 to go. If that's what they're doing, where the chess match really kicks in, who makes the commitment first? Because once somebody comes, you just really can't afford to just stay out there on those tires.
Well, and to add to that risk, Larry, it's so difficult to get to this pit road. You have to slow down a lot to just get the car rotated and get down on the apron, make it to pit road. The chances of missing the pit road entry are very high. So I definitely don't want to be the first one down pit road.
I think Josh Bilicki just ran out of fuel. He coasted very slowly down pit road and finally made it into his stall. Kyle Busch racing Tyler Reddick for 9th, while older brother Kurt Busch is up to 3rd and gaining ground on her.
And if they do pit, guys, this is where that pit crew, they have to be spot on. Because remember, it's been 71 days since they made pit stops on pit road. And the next trip to pit road would be the 10th pit stop.
And Ryan Newman is spun down in turn 1. He came very slow down into the corner. Now gets going again. And that brings out the 10th caution flag. Strategy, strategy.
I was going to say, was Larry about to say trends?
I wasn't quite there.
Not quite there, were you, Larry? But the caution is out, and that's going to change everything. These guys are really happy that that caution came out when it did, because that puts them in a great window.
Now, Newman was running 17th, and he was off speed going down to turn 1. I thought perhaps he had run out of gas, but let's take a look and see what happens to Ryan Newman. We're going to pick him up at turn 4 on this replay.
If he was, I don't think he was trying to get to pit road. It's possible, but I think he just got really loose in the middle of turns 3 and 4, saved it, lost all that momentum. And then that was just riding on board. Oh, that almost looked like a tire issue, like it was going low, because you could see he was just walking it up the racetrack trying to save it right there. The question, I'm going to guess he spins, yeah. He spins down here. That's going to bring out the caution. So he almost got into that inside wall at the same time.
So a nice lazy slide for Ryan Newman in his first race back since that horrific crash at Daytona. But good to see him back in the race car. Our Geico drone has a look at, you know, it takes a lot of people to put on a race, even with no fans in the grandstand or in the infield. NASCAR limited the number of crewmen and mechanics and personnel each team was allowed to bring. And coming into the track, temperatures taken, everybody wearing masks and social distancing, and none of this would have been possible had it not been for North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper affirming the team's rights to go back to the shops and work on the race cars to get them ready to race 2 races here at Darlington and then 2 races next week at Charlotte. So, and a big shout out to our Fox camera people, technicians, replay people, graphics people, who are located in 3 different places. The racetrack, Fox Network Center Charlotte, and Fox Network Center Los Angeles, where all the replays and the graphics and features are coming to you from. To put all this together as if we were all at the track, and Donnie Russell among our cameramen, Nelson Hastings, Michael Dranis, everybody up on the roof getting the pictures, getting the shots, and bringing them home to you. Our goal is to get back to the track as soon as possible, and we are working with Fox Corporate and with NASCAR to make that happen just as quickly as we can do so safely. Regan.
Mike, you see the one car of Kurt Busch on the right side of your screen? That race car is very good after 10 laps. He needs it to fire off better. If they can do that, he thinks he's got a car that can run with the leaders up front there. The 4 car of Kevin Harvick, leader right now. That race car progressively gets looser. You see him on the right side of the screen as he runs. He wants a small adjustment to keep that right rear tire from sliding like it's on ice as he runs longer.
We can see again Kevin Harvick, that #1 pit stall, that pit crew does the job, gets him out front. There's not going to be any saving tires now with 38 laps to go. It's going to be all out.
Oh, it's on from here. 38 laps to go in Darlington. Wow.
Daddy, what's that big moving house thing?
It's a motorhome, Junior. Modern invention.
Modern invention? We carried our homes with us since, like, forever.
Yeah, but humans have Geico to protect them. Something goes wrong, they're covered. What do we have?
What could go wrong? Ooh, a feather.
A feather? Duck, Junior!
That's no duck, Daddy. That's a vulture.
Geico for RVs. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Ready to know you. Ready to know.
2 beers.
Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Definitely the one that went bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Bush.
Right.
That clean clothes you want to wear always seem to need an iron?
Next time, try Bounce Wrinkle Guard dryer sheets.
Just toss it in the dryer to bounce out wrinkles. We dried these shorts with Bounce Wrinkle Guard and a pair without. The Bounce Wrinkle Guard shorts have fewer wrinkles and static and more softness. It's the world's first mega sheet that does the job of 3 dryer sheets. It also comes in unscented. If you don't love Bounce Wrinkle Guard, we'll give you your money back.
7 races coming up in just 11 days. NASCAR is back. Wednesday night, we're here at Darlington with the Cup Cars. May 19th with the Xfinity Series. May 20th with the Cup Cars for 500K. And then Sunday, May 24th, the Coca-Cola 600. One day later, Xfinity races at Charlotte. One day after that, the trucks are on Charlotte Motor Speedway. And then that Wednesday night, 500 kilometers for the Cup Cars, once again, on the oval at Charlotte. We don't have anything to do the next couple of weeks, but boy, are we glad to be back.
Boy, Mike, that is going to be a lot of racing in a short period of time, hitting the track running as we get back to racing here. And I mean, today's just been a spectacular event. Just seeing cars out on track, seeing the action, hearing the cars. It's been wonderful to see, and I'm looking forward to a lot more of it coming up.
So, Jeff, as a driver, you've been off for 10 weeks. You're racing here in the humidity at Darlington. You're going to run here again on Wednesday night. Then you've got the longest race of the year at Charlotte, and then 500K more. What's your biggest concern?
Yeah, as a driver, it's just going to be about hydration, staying in shape, recovery. These races take a lot out of you. It's really hot, and it drains all the energy out of you, especially in this high humidity here at Darlington. This first race back, I think all the nerves, not being in the car week in and week out, makes you use a little more energy. So I think these guys are all on a plan to get back each race as we go through this schedule and to be fresh and ready to go.
But now, Larry Mack, what about the pit crews? They're getting plenty of reps today, but they've got 4 races over, what, 8 days?
Well, and a lot of them will be pulling double duty and triple duty because they may do some pit work in the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series. Plus, they'll probably continue to work out. But look at the man that's in 5th place, Kyle Busch. And by the way, while we're talking about this schedule, Kyle Busch is going to run every single one of them. In fact, those 4 races in Charlotte, 4 consecutive days, 1,412 laps of racing for Kyle Busch.
Wow.
And you mean the guy that's worked his way all the way up into 5th in this race with 35 laps to go? Don't count Kyle Busch out of anything.
Fox NASCAR would love to see your race day experience. Upload videos of how you're watching today's race. Use the hashtag 100KCams. Then watch FS1 on May 24th. See if your footage made it onto our special 100,000 cameras, the return of NASCAR. That's Artie Kepner, our director. John Howard, our technical director. They are at Darlington, taking all the inputs from the live cameras and the robo-cams that are on the scene, and Regan Smith's pit cam, sending it here to Charlotte, on to Los Angeles and back. Wow, it takes a village. And thanks to all of you for your help as they approach the Geico restart zone. And we're ready to get at it. It'll be 34 laps to go.
Watch the intensity start to ramp up here on this restart, Mike.
Still there. Here's pushes on you, still inside, even. Pushes on you again. Back off you. Keep it wound up. You'll get him off a fork. You get a good hole shot here. Keep digging there. There you go. Get a good hole shot off the corner. You build your bumper cover inside. Little weight on over inside. Get you a good run. Still there. Coming back a little bit. Still there.
There's going to be no give and take.
Go, Bowman!
Bowman battles hard with Kevin Harvick to try to get the lead.
Yeah, if you can get it, you've got to get it now.
Absolutely. Look at Kevin Harvick fighting back on that outside. outside. No way he wants to give up that clean air.
No, this could be for the win right here.
It's not over yet as they go side by side into turn 3. Oh, Bowman gets loose.
Car washed up, almost got away from it.
And Harvick almost in the wall, scrapes the outside.
What a battle.
Ooh. Now what Kurt Busch is hoping, and Chase Elliott, these guys further back, he's hoping they used up some of the good of those tires in that battle.
Kurt to the inside for second. Trying to pounce, hoping Bowman used up his tires battling for the lead. Nothing there.
Well, we know Kurt Busch is good after 10 laps, but we're only a couple laps into after this restart. So he needs to fight for these positions, because if he can stay within contact, at least of the leader, Kevin Harvick, he has a shot at this win with 30 to go.
4-car breakaway. Harvick's 4. Bowman, Busch, Elliott in Chevrolets, and Eric Jones trying to hang on. It's the veterans against the young lines. Imagine that in the top 4. Harvick, last time he led 100 laps in a race and failed to win was Chicagoland. Alex Bowman, the driver currently in second place, went to victory lane. Harvick's led 129 so far.
See just how difficult it is to make that pass if you're Austin Dillon. He gets position on Matt DiBenedetto, gets the inside, but that momentum carries you on that outside lane, and Matt able to carry that all the way down the back straightaway, maintain that position.
Come on.
Tyler Reddick. Right, Kyle Busch, this is for 7th.
Just remember that the last time we raced was at Phoenix, and remember the race that Tyler Reddick was putting together. Didn't end up with great results, but I'm telling you, that momentum has continued for him as we come here to Darlington. Great effort. He makes a pass on Kyle Busch for that position.
Blaney and Boyer for 17. No one behind them. Still 27 lap cars. What's this?
As soon as we talked about Kyle Busch, I gotta believe that's probably a loose wheel.
And the team's not sure just what the problem is. We'll see if they turn 2 or 4. He picked up 4 spots on the last pit stop.
We're certainly not sure which wheel it is, if it is a loose wheel, because they're changing all 4. No battle between Eric Jones and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott might have got a little bit of the wall off of turn 4 there.
And that's going to cost Kyle Busch a lap.
Jeff, if you hit for a vibration, you almost have to do 4 tires, because if you just roll the dice and do 2, you may not get the right one.
Yeah, that's correct, Larry.
Boy, Eric Jones knows his way to victory lane at Darlington. And Jones is saying on the radio he's afraid he may have a loose wheel. Or again, the same type of problem perhaps that Truex had earlier.
Blaney about had a problem right there as he and Clint Boyer are battling. He got really loose off of turn 4. Not sure if he made contact with the wall. But Mike, it's the same thing. That money stop, that last stop, you push and try. There's a little more pressure on these pit crews, and it's been a hot, grueling day for them as their first race back. That's when you can maybe rush and make a slight mistake.
Joey Downey going at it here for 17. Oh, Larry, 24 laps to go. It's that time.
It's time for me to get out there. I went back and studied the last 10 Darlington Cup races, and because they were 500-mile races, I had to do a little bit of math and do percentages. And what I see is in today's race, a 400-miler, the last caution probably will come somewhere around 20 to 25 laps to go if the trends hold true, so we are right there.
All right.
Oh, and we've had 3 overtime finishes in those 10.
10th place, Keselowski and Kenseth. thing I hadn't counted on, we still have 2 rookies in the top 10. Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek running 7th and 8th. A couple of spots in front of this battle. Nemechek started 34th today by the blind draw.
That is just a phenomenal effort. Applaud he and this team for being prepared to come into this event. John Hunter Nemechek's another one of those guys, stays in great shape, so physically he looks like he's peaking and getting to his best here at the closing laps of this race.
You come out of Darlington with a top 10, your first time here in a Cup car, you have done a man's day's work.
That's for sure. And especially if you've got the right side still on the car.
Custer, who had a very strong stage 1 and continues to run on the lead lap in 19th, or is it 20th, depending on whether he or Ty Dillon is ahead.
Right behind him, see Bubba Wallace, Ryan Priest battling side by side, 21st and 22nd. Sure, you know, Ryan Priest is, even earlier, he was very happy with this car. He was driving forward inside the top 15, but it's fallen back since then.
Things are heating up at the front. That number 1 is Kurt Busch in 3rd place, 2.3 seconds off the lead. Reed Sorensen's gone a lap down again. The 9, of course, Chase Elliott, 2.8 seconds off the top spot. There's 2nd place Alex Bowman on the outside of a lap car, and leader Kevin Harvick as we're inside 20 to go.
Yeah, Kevin's in a great position here. That battle that he had with Alex Bowman, I mean, it just proved a lot to me about Kevin Harvick and his abilities, as well as that race car. By maintaining that clean air, he's been able to pull away a little bit, but lap traffic could be a determinator in a big factor in how this race ends.
The high line, Kurt Busch has kept his Chevrolet either on the bottom of the racetrack or in the middle groove. Is one approach or the other more conducive to good tire wear?
Well, I think at this stage this rubber laid down all across this racetrack, Mike, so it's probably, typically you would say that inside lane would eat the left side tires up a little bit more, but it actually seems like it's holding on pretty good for a lot of these cars. When you see Harvick, he's running up high and just getting that momentum, getting that nice run off. But look how close to the wall he's running in the middle of turns 3 and 4. I mean, every time he enters turn 3, he's just playing with that brake and throttle.
What's up on it, Bowman?
And not touch the wall. Not easy to do as you get to the end of this race, 293 laps.
Mark Truex's day has kind of gone the other way as he is back there at 7th trying to hold off Tyler Reddick. Here's the telemetry, lower left of your screen on Harvick.
You can see he floats the car into turn 3, leads it with the nose, and then he starts to pick up the throttle, just hoping that it turns right as he gets to the wall.
Hoping? Come on. Wow. That's a leap of faith.
But you can see through turns 1 and 2, doesn't come all the way out of the throttle, carries a lot of speed to the center. His car is very strong through turns 1 and 2. Right here, he's having to use that throttle a little bit. You can see the car wagging just a bit as he comes off of turn 4.
And that's been part of Kevin Harvick's strength on the 1.5 miles that predominate this circuit. Rarely on the bigger tracks do you see Harvick all the way out of the throttle. And by carrying really good mid-corner speed, helps his lap times every lap.
I've seen a lot of drivers study his telemetry and how he uses the throttle and how he steers the car, trying to mimic it because of the success that Kevin Harvick has had. They're going to be looking at it this week also, getting ready for Wednesday.
Teammates for 5th place, Denny Hamlin. Coming back toward the front on Eric Jones.
We're hearing that possibly Eric Jones with a vibration also. Yeah, that's it. It's very typical, Mike. The pressure on the pit crew members trying to make the fastest stop, and then you go run some of the fastest laps because now the intensity ramps up and everybody's pushing to the limit. And a lot of times that combination can cause these wheels to come loose.
But we've waited 10 weeks for the return of NASCAR, and now we're down to the final 10 laps. Past champion Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch, with Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, all trying to close up for that top spot. But Harvick, once he beat Alex Bowman on the restart, we said at the time, hey, this could be the race right here. And it looks like it may have been.
And Alex Bowman could have maybe pushed the issue a little bit more. There was one quick moment going into turn one where he may have been clear of Kevin Harvick, but he chose not to take that. Probably a wise choice because it might not have worked out. It might have been too risky, but that was the only opportunity that I really saw him take or be able to take. But that was a great battle. Unfortunately for Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick was able to continue and keep that lead.
Starter with both hands outstretched, 10 to go. Harvick the leader in a Mustang, Bowman the first Camaro in second, and Denny Hamlin the first Camry in fifth. Wednesday night they'll be right back here to do it again. I'm not sure that's ever happened that NASCAR, not since they gave points for the Daytona qualifying races, I don't think, has NASCAR been to the same track twice in 1 week with point races. Martin Truex up and down day, started the race loose, fought his way up toward the lead, and now goes past Jones into 6th place. Fought off what he felt could have been a loose wheel, turned out to be just a vibration. Looking for his first top 10 finish of the season is Martin Truex.
Hard to believe when you say that, Mike, but it is true. It's making me think back of the 4 races that we've run this year. They have not been good races for Martin Truex Jr. So a top 10 is going to be something that is going to be very welcomed by that race team. And I think they have a car, now that they know what this track is going to be like, they have a car that can win on Wednesday.
Toyota's 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hamlin, Truex, and Jones. And behind them, the rookies, Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek. Both going to come out of this with a top 10
Okay.
finish. Great run. And behind them, from the youngest to the oldest driver in the field, Matt Kenseth. Looks like he's going to come out of here with a top 10 in his first Cup race in over a year.
That's amazing. Oh, get some debris.
That's more final. And let's hope that doesn't end up on the front end of one of these cars.
7 to go. That won't be an issue.
Come on, over the fence, over the fence, over the fence.
I got to believe.
Oh, no, it's more.
That's all right. The grill's still up. It's going to change the definitely going to change the aerodynamics and handling of that race car.
That's on the splitter, but Larry, doesn't it look like it's below the opening for cooling air?
It definitely looks like it's below it, but we have seen when debris gets on that splitter, that front splitter is the most sensitive part about that race car we've seen. And it made it real sensitive right there, along with the Ryan Newman in that 6 car, but it definitely could change the handling, Mike.
Yeah, the way that air wraps around over the top and under that splitter is critical. That's why the heights are so important, of whether they're hitting or not hitting that splitter. And you can already see it playing an effect on Clint Boyer. Here's that trash.
A little bit of adhesive vinyl siding.
Benedetto avoids it and bam, center punches the nose on Clint Boyer.
Poor Clint.
But I got to believe, Mike, these drivers are starting to feel the fatigue. Being the first race back, it's been hot, it's been a tough race. Track conditions, really, this track makes you grip that steering wheel a little bit tighter. Because you run so close to the wall, you slide the car around. I got to believe these drivers are really starting to feel that as we close into the finish.
4 laps to go. During the off weeks, everybody everybody had to be a little bit creative, trying to put on their best face to get to Darlington. In Kevin Harvick's case, yeah, that's a leaf blower. Blowing away the cuttings after Kevin got a haircut from his wife, Delana. Gotta have good arrow for victory lane, right?
I mean, I've heard of wind tunnels, Mike.
Bring your own. A lot of creative things went on here over the past 10 weeks.
Well,
2 to go.
It's worked for Kevin Harvick. He's been strong, dialed in, has performed flawlessly today.
But also, this will be a big day for Hendrick Motorsports. 2 drivers crashing out. But the last time Rick Hendrick had 2 cars finish in the top 5 at Darlington was 2014. Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Kevin Harvick won that day. Kevin Harvick's going to show you the white flag with 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Timmy Hill waving him to the inside.
Back straightaway, final time. Kevin Harvick is about to become the 14th driver in NASCAR Cup history to reach 50 career victories, breaking a tie with Tony Stewart for 14th. Harvick wins NASCAR's return to action at Darlington.
Thank you guys. Awesome job. Awesome.
The 44-year-old from Bakersfield scored his last win at Texas last November, 6 races ago. He's the 4th driver to win in the 5 races of 2020 so far. Stewart-Haas becomes the 4th different team organization to win in 2020.
And I think this is a testament to all these teams, but especially Stewart-Haas and Kevin Harvick, Rodney Childers. I mean, the amount of effort to be prepared to come in here and be that put together, pit stops, a race car, do all that you had to do to win this first race back. Took a lot of effort. Fantastic job by them.
Our aerial coverage of Harvick's victory provided by Goodyear. From race day to even better days ahead. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR.
Fans are not. You got to do a donut. You got to celebrate a victory. That gotta feel great.
Harvick led 159, a little more than half the laps today. And now heads for the start-finish line. He'll be greeted by Regan Smith. It's his 2nd Darlington win in 24 starts here. And he becomes the 27th driver to own multiple Darlington victories. And he keeps a great string intact. He is the only driver to finish in the top 10 in every race of this young season. And he's burned down the house for you folks watching at home. Glad to have you with us on Fox as NASCAR returns to action. And don't forget, we're right back here on Wednesday night. Dr. Josh Hughes is the everyday hero above Kevin Harvick's window. Every driver had such a medical person above the window on that car. Dr. Hughes, an emergency medical physician for Mid-Atlantic EMA in the emergency department at Novant Health Presbyterian. Triaging patients, stabilizing, diagnosing, treating illnesses and injuries. Regan.
Kevin Harvick emerges from his race car, taking the booties off. Helmet's still on. Don't worry, we're all figuring this out as we go, Kevin. What an incredible performance by you and your team today. You have won some of the biggest races in this sport. A champion I have to imagine that this race today ranks right up there at the top of that list.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody from NASCAR and all the teams for letting us do what we do. This is I didn't think it was going to be that much different, and then we won the race, and it's dead silent out here. So we miss the fans. Just got to thank everybody from Busch Light, Hunt Brothers Pizza, Mobile One, Jimmy John's, everybody from Ford who helps on this car. It's just it's a pretty big honor to win 50 races in this deal, and just got to thank all my team guys and everybody for what they're doing. This Dr. Josh Hughes is one of my really good friends. Spent a lot of time with him, have seen how this whole pandemic has affected our frontline workers in person on a weekly basis. So thank you, Josh. We're thinking about you. Got to say hi to Delaney and my kids at home. Guess we'll bring home the trophy.
Certainly think about everybody that's affected by the pandemic. This is your 50th win in your career. I mean, does that seem real right now?
It doesn't seem real. And I think as you look at the things that happened this weekend, I really thought that it would definitely play into our hand, just because our guys are so good at hitting the car off the truck for the most part. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of studying, a lot of meetings, and just got to thank everybody at the shop who's built all these cars. And just, man, I'm excited. It is weird. Just because there's nobody up there, and you can go to bushbeer.com and maybe have your face on the car next week up here on the hood. So everybody from Fields and Haas, and I'm speechless.
Kevin Harvick speechless after winning at Darlington. Mike?
50 victories ties Hall of Famers Junior Johnson and Ned Jarrett, who in 1965 won the Southern 500 at Darlington by a NASCAR record 14 laps. We'll be back with more from NASCAR's first super speedway in Darlington. Kevin Harvick has won the Real Heroes 400.
Thanks for sharing your DIY haircuts. Thanks for sharing your savage moves, and especially your awkward ones. Thanks for sharing your cute kids and your adorable pets. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico Gift Bag, a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for both current and new customers. And because we're committed for the long haul, the credit lasts your full policy term. So thanks again. One good share deserves another.
Sometimes the challenges of today's world make it tough to take care of yourself. That's why you can rely on Nature's Bounty to give you the support you need to stay motivated, keep active, and sleep well. Add a little more health to your game with Nature's Bounty.
They are the heroes, the helpers, working on the front lines. And here's one small way that you can help them in return. Complete your 2020 census today. 2020 census data helps communities plan funding for hospitals, clinics, and emergency services across the country. An accurate count helps public health officials know who is at risk, and first responders identify the resources they need to protect our communities. Complete your census at 2020census.gov and help shape our future.
I'm 53, but in my mind, I'm still 35. That's why I take Osteo Biflex to keep me moving the way I was made to. It nourishes and strengthens my joints for the long term. Osteo Biflex plus vitamin D for immune support.
Times have been tough lately. Fridays feel like Mondays. Weekends like weekdays. But soon, that will change. Because soon, we will have race day. A day to be thankful for those off the track, while we root together for our drivers on it. A day when the red flag is lifted and the green flag flies again. A day that is just the beginning. NASCAR is back.
Great news, honey. The roof is finally leaking.
We're finally getting a new roof.
Has finally returned. And now, the countdown to the Coca-Cola 600 has begun.
Drivers, stop!